it's too low, then you won't form that light sheet. If it's too high, you won't form the light sheet. So you're kind of setting this distance, and then at the end you'll have these locked in place. So their distance is fixed, like this. And so you have a light sheet kind of forming here. And then to do Z-stacks, you're moving your sample up and down through that light sheet. So basically you get to the point where the light sheet is in the focal plane of the detection objective. So what the detection objective sees as focused is the light sheet. And you move your sample up and down through it. And so what makes that possible is this Z stage, this Galvo stage. So instead of moving the objectives up and down for Z stacks like you would typically, the whole stage moves up and down. So this is a secondary Z adjustment, so that we can move the sample independent of the objective. That makes sense? Okay, cool.
So how do you find the focal plane? I guess that's the question next. You go ahead.
Magic. No, there's a wizard.
Can you look through the eyepiece?
Yeah, so there's eyepieces and there's cameras and software. We're going to walk you all through that. So first we're going to make sure that the sample is kind of in the middle of the field of view. So we'll take our sample. This stage insert is a 60 millimeter holder, and then there's a 35 millimeter adapter. So it kind of sits in the middle. Like that, and then you use these little clips to hold it down. You'll put your sample right there. So the sample is always going to be some kind of linear shape. So you want the line to be kind of perfect parallel with the eyepieces. You want this gap to be the same to sandwich it. If when you thread on this objective, so it threads on, right? The way that it kind of bottoms out, it's tight, is like crooked or whatever, we can use this black knob to rotate the objective in its holder. So if you move this, it rotates the objective. So you get it so that it's pretty close. And we'll fine tune it in the software. We'll add some water. Raise and lower the objective, kind of fine tuning with this knob. So we'll raise it up, lower it down. If you need to, kind of move the stage left and right so you don't smash your sample. Do that. Like that. The touchpad here, you have your fluorescent, bright field, confocal light settings. The objectives are here. So we're going to use the 2.5x motorized objective to excite everything. Then we'll use FitC to find the sample. Lower the mirrors until we can kind of see them in the eyepieces. Like that. So if you want to kind of look in the eyepieces, you'll see a long tube with some fluorescent sample in it. And then on the left and right of the field of view, you'll see the mirrors. See that? Kind of look to see what it looks like. Samples there, I can change the eyepiece focus, right? So you want to get that fixed focus just so you can see it. If I raise and lower this, you can see that the reflection off the mirror kind of change. See that on the very left and right field of view? Yeah, you see that? So that's the mirrors. And so you want to be able to see the mirrors in that field of view.
I guess everyone has to have
Yes, if you don't
Is
look
that your
like
fine
like King-
focus right there? I saw you using it.
This is the X and Y state position.
Okay.
And then
That's your
C,
stage.
and then if it's fine or fast is this button. It changes
So
how
this
it
is like
responds.
here, channel in.
Yeah.
You are looking something in the middle.
Yeah, so this is the tube, but
these
it's
are
similar. So there's a
The
tube.
tube of your fluorescent beads.
Yeah, so it should be just homogeneous fluorescent beads. If something happens and it shrivels up, the agarose dehydrated. So it's still something we can see. It's not pretty.
And what do you mean that the mirror is there?
You see on the very edges of your field of view,
Uh-huh.
you can see the mirrors. You can see the right hand side is easier to see. You see if I move it up and down. You can see
Okay, the shiny
mirrors.
one.
Yeah.
Is
So
like
yeah.
the two tracks. and
Exactly.
mirrors?
So on the very right hand side of the view,
Okay.
if I kind of raise it up. So you want to kind of raise them over the mirrors until you can kind of see a reflection of the sample on the mirror. So that means that your sample's here, that the mirror is kind of somewhere in this region. If you don't see any reflection at all of something on the mirror, then the mirror is like up here or down here. It's not viewing the sample. So that kind of gets you close so that when we fine tune the height, it will be closer.
So it doesn't be perfect.
No, it doesn't. You just want to make sure it's close so that when we view on the camera, you're not starting from like a crazy position. So now we can go to live mode. And so this is the camera view now. If it's crazy bright, we can lower the fluorescence intensity. That, a little bit more. Knob, low. If it's still really bright, we can lower the exposure time on the camera. So if I go precise, so that's the sample, that's the tube, and there's something in there. Do X and Y. So what we want to do is raise and lower the objective until we get whatever the sample is kind of focused.